Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdut's Newsstand, and I got a viewer question I found very interesting. And I love looking into these topics because I find a lot of nuance is lost online, and I like to have a discussion around them. And this one in particular deserves this type of discussion. Now, I know the answer to this in the comments is going to reflect more of a male perspective, and that's fine. I'm going to give you a female perspective. But I also want to state that everyone has opinions, be respectful of others, but sometimes not all opinions are created equal. And right now, I want to talk about a question I got from Mathew Optimus, and I'm just going to go ahead and read it for you guys. Sorry for changing the subjects, but I need to get this off my chest. Most leftists believe that reactionary and gamers hate women and minorities. Now, full stop. I don't necessarily think of myself at all as a leftist. I'm politically homeless, to say the least. Maybe classic liberal, though I would say that libertarians have some based views when it comes to drugs being legal. Like I don't know. I don't know what I am. That's regardless. I don't think that way at all. I would love to hear your take about this in the next YouTube video. If you decide that make it your video, great. Here's the title and what you might like for a title. So, and it's actually what I'm going to use verbatim. So thank you, Matthew. I think there's a lot of nuance to this. I think there is an obvious answer, and that would be no with a asterisk, right? Because generally, no. Generally, I don't see most gamers, especially because people in the gaming community don't give a shit, generally, about the drama surrounding the culture war. Some do, but usually fans of the culture war are simply fans of the culture war. They're not in it for the comics, the gaming, the movies, the TV. They're fans of the culture war. So when it comes to gamers, yeah, of course, when you go online and you, like I used to, I haven't in a really long time, I should, play Mortal Kombat Online. Yeah, you're going to get some sexist remarks. Do I think those people are terrible deep down? No, probably not. A lot of times they troll. A lot of times they are 12, and maybe they should have a little bit more supervision. But when it comes to gamers, yeah, you're always going to have the weird, like, teabagging and one-off remarks. Is it something I think women and minorities should have to deal with? No, not necessarily. But I'm also not offended. It takes a lot to offend me. And if I win a game and I get a sexist remark, I move on with my life, because that's, you put value and time into things that you have value for. You put time into it. If the more time I put into something like that, that gives it value. I'm not going to give you any value. Now, when it comes to anti-SJWs, I think that is a different breed. And that is more of the fan of the culture war as compared to the actual gaming. Of course, doesn't make them mutually exclusive, but they pop around, right? They can go from gaming to movies to comics to politics to Spotify to Snow White. It's more of a culture war thing. Do I think they are sexist and racist? I would say not always. Do they have ignorance within them? Some. Are there good ones out there? Yeah, I mean, I suppose. I've not run across it. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I do think there are people like the quartering is a good example, because yeah, he's super hypocritical, but there will be times when he will go and he will platform somebody like Jim Sterling and say, look, this is happening with Jim's channel. Okay. Help him out. Okay. Or there will be times like he will share charities and stuff around where people need help. And I think that's great. Does that dissuade all the other stuff? No, of course not. But I do think there is a way to look at somebody in the best possible light, even if it is hard during some times. Now, a lot of it is clickbaity. I think sometimes you have to dive deeper into the messaging behind it because you can't really go off thumbnails and the titles for a lot of it because some of it doesn't even make sense. Some of it absolutely is fabricated misinformation that doesn't even appear in the video. So if you dive deeper into it, do I think that they are sexist and racist? No, I don't know. Maybe to an extent. Yeah. I guess it's a hard question because we would have to talk more specifics when it comes to who and why and what and when. And I do think that it is assumed, and I did a longer format video on this with Bianca earlier, that people that properties that have women in them or that have minorities are automatically woke, right? So that is a little troubling, right? Like a lot of it comes down to the quality of the work. Is the work well done? Is it an agenda of one? Because we've seen that before. And is the agenda of one hurting anything? Now, we can specifically talk about Tom Taylor. I have never heard most of these people talk about Superman. But as soon as Jonathan Kent becomes bisexual, the world explodes and everybody's mad. Doesn't make any sense. He's a new character. And we've seen Tom Taylor come out and say he wants to introduce more queer characters. Great. That's wonderful. It's an agenda of one, and the writing is solid. So I don't understand what the issue is there. And it is the difference of fighting injustice and fighting criminals. And what Tom Taylor is going for is more along the lines of injustice. I think the biggest problem with a story like that is that Lex Luthor feels very off to me in that book. And there is some failings in the tone of the storytelling and it moving forward. Does that make it a bad book? No. Is it woke? No. How is it woke? Because there's a gay character in it? Like what? Okay. So back to the original question. I don't think necessarily you can really even answer this question because I think it all comes down person to person. I really do. Like if you go into certain people's live chats and yeah, like this just happened last night with all this controversy around Flash and stuff. Yeah. That what Frost was talking about all happened. All happened. That's what she's speaking against, right? So yeah, there are certain individuals, but is it okay to demonize a whole group? No, not necessarily. I think you need to take each individual one. Now, I do lump a lot of them together because I personally have been around long enough to know most of their views and have seen them say some ridiculous things, some redeeming things. But for a genuine consensus, you have to look at each person as an individual. And you have to take what they say and not apply it to a different person because somebody in that group said something. And I think it's really hard to do. But I do think there is a lot of sexism and there is a lot of racism in that it attracts it, right? Even if the main people are not, which let's be real, some of them are, they have that attraction to groups of really bad people will be attracted to that because they will think that's what they're saying. You know, is this a dog whistle? Is this a dog whistle? Maybe this is a dog whistle. So I don't know. I think unless we did, maybe this would be good for a community stream. I'll set up a community stream this next weekend. That's what we'll do. I think it's a bigger topic to talk about than to just get my opinion. I've seen racist things said. I've heard plenty of it. I've been on the end of sexism, seen plenty of it. You will see it in almost every single comment section and every single live stream I do. I have had a really fortunate situation with my channel where I have had people that are great mods and are able to weed it out, because I won't put up with it. It's just not something I allow. I don't allow people to be rude to my guests, whether they are like-minded or completely opposite. And I don't allow people to be just rude in general when it comes to like putting people down or saying, pejoratives. I want everyone to feel welcome. But that's really hard when you cover topics like that, because it does attract that type of individual. There are so many people in this community that also belong to that community and are fucking wonderful people. Like, I would say probably half of, maybe a little bit less percent than that, but a lot of my normal viewers are also interested in those type of people, and that's great. You do you, boo. I don't see them as necessarily sexist or racist. I see them as good individuals. So I don't know. I'm going to set up a community stream. Let me know your comments down below, because we'll probably feature some of them. And I think this is a bigger topic to discuss. I think it's bigger than me. I think people really won't like my answers, and this will definitely cost me some subs. But yeah, it definitely is a dog whistle, and it definitely has its share of bad apples. But that doesn't make, one bad apple don't spoil the whole bunch. Yeah, but a couple might. I don't know. Very good topic. Let me know, of course, what you guys think, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
I'm more than just a picture. I'm a daughter.